Good morning, everyone. My name is Rayanne Ray. My business is called Type On Data. I burnt out in my career and started a business trying to save people time and improve the way that they do things. So this is where these webinars came from. So the last Friday of every month, 10 o'clock, there is a free webinar where I go through efficiencies in the things that you do and the things that you use, mostly in the Microsoft space, but I'm getting more into AI and how to use that in your day-to-day life. So today we're going through Outlook and calendar efficiencies. So during my corporate career, I was responsible for a lot of people, a lot of projects, and a lot of things. I found it really difficult to manage the sheer volume of things that I was doing, and without the actual metrics of what work was needed, you can't really prove that you need another person or that you need help or support, etc. So by changing the way that I did things, improved my day. I was a bit too far gone at the time, so I did burn out, and I wish somebody would have given me these efficiencies at the time. So yeah, so let's get started. We're going to start with looking at your time and what you actually do day to day. But first, let's go through our learning objectives. So I'm going to share my screen. So, learning objectives for today. So, basically, we're going to look at Microsoft Outlook and calendar functionality, and we're going to improve the way that we do things with scheduling. We're going to streamline the way that you manage your emails and help you to have a clutter-free inbox. And we're going to use a couple of tools I like to use, which is time blocking and productivity hacks. So let's get started. So I have a little exercise that I do. I've created it in two ways. I've created what it looks like for me and what I think it looks like for you. So basically, this is a time log. So everything that you do in your day, detailed on an hourly basis. You may need it to be a bit more granular, go down to half an hour if that's better for you. But start tracking what you do every day. Start tracking when you dip into your email, when you dip out of your email, when you answer calls, when you're on your phone, when you're doing admin things. So I've based this on a really unproductive day that I've had in the past. So first things first, I'd come into work, I would have a look at my emails, I'd fire off a few emails, and I'd crack on with a little bit of work. I'd have a meeting, I'd probably get interrupted by a call without an agenda, and I would be basically getting constantly interrupted throughout the day, so there wasn't a lot of time to actually do things. I would then send an email, I'd go for lunch, I'd have a meeting, I'd send another email. And what I found is when you stop and start your tasks, it's really time consuming because you're coming back, right, where was I? What was I doing? Whereas actually, if you're starting and finishing tasks, it's going to be a lot quicker and you're not having to actually refresh where you're actually up to. So this is what my day kind of looks like now. So this is based upon an admin day that I've got. So I'd come in the morning, I would catch up with my email, I'd scroll through, I'd prioritize what needs to be done, what are my quick wins. I'd then probably spend a few hours on my invoicing, so invoicing for upcoming work, regular work, seeing where I'm at with everything. I'd review my next week. So I'd have a look at my calendar. I'd see that I've checked that I've sent any pre-work. If I haven't, I would send that. I would have a look at what gaps that I've got and what I could do within that time to make myself a bit more productive. I would then, the end of the day, I would plan my next day. So whatever that looked like would be maybe seeing okay, I'm not going to get a chance to have a look at my emails in the morning, so just have a little scan through. Have I done everything I need to do for today? Is there anything urgent? Do I need to send any holding emails? So I do that within the sort of last hour of my day. And then I try and bulk any social media time at the end of it. So I do a lot of my advertising on LinkedIn, and I'd go on there and I like, comment, share any posts that resonate with me. But I would block that. So I would block that into time. So I would put that in my diary effectively. I would make sure that I have time for those things. So yeah, so I've gone from a really unorganized day to an actual a bulk time where so at the end of today, so this is the day. So at the end of that day, I know that I've gone through all my emails, I've done all my invoicing, I know what I'm up to next week, and I'm ready for the days coming up. And I've also caught up with my peers and potential customers. So saved a lot of time there. But the thing that I'm missing is the part about my diary. So if we go jump into our diary now, so let's have a little look. Okay, so let me close these windows. So a couple of things that you can do with your calendar view. So you can view a day. You can say if you only work 3 days, oh, go away. Tips and tips and tips. You can change it to 5 days, 7 days, whatever work schedule you work on. You can actually have your view to see that. You can have a work week, which you can set in your settings. So if your work week is Monday to Thursday, it would show you that because you've already configured it, which I'll show you in the settings shortly. You can then see your week. You can also see your month. This is your month to view. If we go back to our work week, actually no, let's go to our month. So within a month, I know there's things that I have to do. So on a Friday, sorry, on the last Friday, that's a complete lie. On the 25th of every month, I do my payroll. So let's open this out. So I do my payroll on the 25th of every month. So I'm going to put payroll in. And I'm going to make it recurring. So it happens on every month. So if I change this to every month, it is on day 25. So you can set this if it's on the last Friday of every month, last fourth Friday, you can actually bespoke it to what the recurrence you need it to be. So every 25th, I send my payroll over. So I'm going to save that. Oh, I forgot to mention you can add an end date. So if you want it to carry on forever, make sure you remove that. Because you might find in 12 months' time all the things you've made diary entries for actually fall away. So we're going to save that. So payroll's not a Teams meeting or anything. I'm not going to remind myself 15 minutes before because that's an interruption. I am going to remind myself at the time of the event. So I usually do it first thing in the morning. So I would make sure I come in 9 o'clock in the morning and I would do that. So I'm just going to make that a 15-minute task because I get timesheets and basically forward those on to my payroll provider. So simple, easy, quick win, but I need to be reminded to do it because it is important to do. But the next thing is, because if I save this, the event's past, we'll ignore that, but it'll be in there for May. There we go. And it'll be in there, forevermore. Go into December, and there it is into December. So let's go back to this month. So once you start adding things in, so let me just go, what else do I do on a monthly basis? I shouldn't admit to this, but I do. I'm gonna on the Sunday, the last Sunday of the month, I do my invoicing. It's not very good, is it? So let's put this in. So I do my invoicing, and I'm going to make that recurring, and I do it every month, and I do it on the first Sunday of the month. I'm going to do it on. So say for example, if I've got clients that I work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, I would then invoice them on the 4th. So I would do that on the first Sunday of every month. Oh, no, I need to remove my end date. There we go. Save that. Okay, goes every first Sunday. We're going to do that. We're going to save that. Okay, so now we've got another one. We've got invoicing, we've got payroll. What else do I do? So I I think it's every other Friday there's a breakfast network that I like to go to. So I'm just going to put breakfast in there, and it is at 7:30 and finishes at 8:45. So we're going to put 8:45 in there. Let's just put a colon in to make sure we don't break it. Okay, we're going to make that recurring. So that happens every other week. So it's every 2 weeks on a Friday. We're going to remove the end date and we're going to save that. So every other Friday, I have a breakfast meeting. So just put a little image in for me, which is quite nice. But now my diary is looking pretty blue and I don't want that. So what I want to do is I want to categorize things. I want to see where my days or my time is actually being spent. So let's go into the breakfast. Let's edit this. I'm going to edit this event. All events in the series you're going to edit. And oh, I don't want a reminder. I want a reminder at the time of it. I don't even want a reminder for that actually. Because at 7:30 I am at the event. So the night before I know that I'm getting up, my alarm is set and I'm going to that event. No agenda or anything because it is just a breakfast meeting. So I'm showing as busy, so you can show us a few things. So I do I do a few things with my clients. So if I'm at home, if I'm working remotely for them, then I would show as working elsewhere. But if I'm working on site with them, I also show that there. So what we're actually going to look at here is categories. So categories basically color code your calendar. So I'm going to edit this. It's yellow in my calendar at the moment, so I don't want to do that. Apologies. Let's remove our yellow category. We want to manage categories. Okay, so the yellow category, I'm going to edit that and I'm going to call that networking. Networking. And then what else do we want? So let's just set that as yellow for now. So we've got networking. So save that. So now you see it's gone yellow. So now we've got these two business related categories. So let's edit this one. I'm going to do all events again. You can do this at the time. Don't do it the way I'm doing it. It's quite inefficient. I just wanted to show you the blue of what it looks like. So I'm going to change my branding colours more of this bluey colour. So I'm going to change this blue category to type on data. So these are activities to do for the business. So these are more of like an operations task. So I'm going to call it something meaningful. Okay, so we're going to call that Todd Operations. I'm going to save that. Okay, so now we've gone for different colours. We're going to change this one, do a quick link, and it's Todd Operations. So all I did there was I right-clicked, chose categories. Again, you could do the same, show as busy, duplicate event, etc. There's so many things you can do. Okay, let's have a look now at let's book a client meeting. So we're gonna do we're gonna call it customer, but we're not. We're gonna call it what the customer's name is. So we'll call it customer limited. So that's who I'm working with for that day. My hours are 9:30 till 4:30 on site. Um, and they want a recurring, they want every Tuesday with me for what's that, 6 months. So they want to be with me for 6 months every Tuesday doing, I don't know, digital transformation or etc. So we're going to save that. I'm going to categorize that. Let's gonna give ourselves a new category on this one. So we're going to give it purple and we're going to say customer work. I'm going to save that. Okay, so our customer work now is going to show that's purple. So I'm with Customer Limited at customer limited offices. Obviously, this will find an actual address if it's a real one. Save that. Okay, so now every Tuesday I'm with customer limited. So now you can start seeing how the colours are actually it's showing you what you've got in your day. So you know that you've got admin you need to do on that day. You know that you're with a customer that day on their site. Another thing that I do is I do a remote work, so customer limited, and we may agree that I do one day on site and another day at home. So I've done that wrong. And then we change that. And we're going to put a new category in here. So we're going to give ourselves a new category and I'm going to give it a different shade of purple. So it's customer work, but it's remote, which means I'm not in the office, I'm at home. So then I can see now, I know I've got customer work on those 2 days. I've got to do the recurring. Just do the recurring. Make it recurring. We're going to do it every week on a Thursday, and it's going to be for 6 months. Happy days. Save that. Okay, so every Thursday now, I know. So this is my diary. It's going to start filling up now, and I'm going to start getting busier, and I'm going to start feeling a bit overwhelmed. So now I need to make space in my life. Where does my space come from? So if I go back to my time tracking, I've cleared off my invoicing, catch up on email, review my week ahead. So let's do a week ahead review. So let's do it on a Friday. We're going to do review week ahead. And I'm going to recur that. I'm going to do it every Friday, remove the end date, and then I'm going to allot an hour for that. But let's start it at 9 because I've got that breakfast meeting, haven't I, every other, so I don't want to what's the word? Muddy the waters. So would I give this another category? So it's not operations, it's more of an admin task. So I'm going to create a new category. I'm going to give it this color and I'm going to call it admin. Admin. Save, and then save. So an hour every week, I'm going to start reviewing the next week, what's coming up. Sometimes it might be better actually to do it on a Monday because then whoever you're working with has got a week to send you stuff. So let's do that. Let's edit that. We're going to edit all events and we're going to make that a Monday morning activity. We're going to change it back to 8:30 because there isn't a breakfast meeting. And we're going to save that. Okay, changes. Yeah, we're happy. Okay, so now every Monday we're going to review the week ahead. We don't want to review the week ahead. We're going to review next week. So we're going to change that. We're going to review next week. Okay. So now we can see what's going on. Now there's other things that you're going to do on a monthly basis, depends on what role you've got in the organisation or what it is that you actually do. There's going to be things that you have to do. So for example, you may be responsible for a board report or for reports in your organisation. So you have to submit them, say, on the 11th. So on the 7th, I'm going to create a prep for the board report because every month I have to submit it by the 11th. And I know it takes me usually around 3 hours to get the board report done. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to prep the board report and this is important. So we're going to add a new category in for this one and we're going to give it a ready colour. So this is an important task. This is an important task that you have to do. Okay, so we're going to save that. Do we want to make it recurring because it's going to be every month and it's on the 7th. We're going to do it on the 7th because it's due on the Monday, on the 11th, sorry. I'm going to remove the end date. Okay, save that. Okay, so now, as you can see, you're starting to build up a picture of what actually your week's starting to look like and it's starting to fill up. So what happens let's go to May. So May, I'm really busy in May. So I've got 2 customer days booked in, and then I've got to do the board report on this day, and I know that I need to it needs to be done because it's got to be on their desk, say for Monday, because the 11th is a Sunday, or for Friday, depending on how you work. But what this means now is, so let's go to June, because it'll be on, let's go to a month where it clashes or something. Okay, so on Monday the 7th, we have um a board report where you it's clashing. Can I clash it with a customer day? Here we go. Here we go. 7th of August. It's clashing with a customer day. I know, guaranteed, that I cannot complete this work here. So when I'm reviewing my week ahead, so on the 28th of July, I'm going to look to the next week and go, I'm not going to get a chance to look at the board report there. So I'm going to edit this, and I'm going to edit just this event, and I'm going to make it on the 6th. I'm going to save that. So now I know that I'm not going to be sitting there till midnight on the 7th trying to get everything done. I know that I've prioritized myself and I've put this in a time slot that's available. But this works both ways. So what happens if I get to the 6th now and I'm busy? Something happened with customer limited and they ran over into the Wednesday. What happens then? So what happens then is you're not going to get it done. So you can push it. So you can push it in. So we're going to put this onto the 8th instead. We're going to do it on the 8th. Okay. But you've still not, it's a Friday now. You know you've got to get it done on the 8th. So you've put pressure on yourself now to actually get this done, completed today. Otherwise, you know that you're going to be working Saturday and Sunday or early Monday morning trying to get it done on time. So you're creating that pressure for yourself. So as much as do have the autonomy to have it in your diary, it's up to you to stick with it. So you've made these rules, you've made this contingency, but if something gets in the way, then it's on you to prioritize. So what came in on the Wednesday was actually this customer was you were fighting fires. It was really important that you had to make this customer happy. But what happens then if there's another fire on the Thursday that you're having to put out on the Friday? So sometimes be mindful that you're creating a further fire for yourself. So yeah, when you're reviewing your week ahead, you need to be making sure that you're giving yourself that time. So time blocking, so this is essentially what we've done. We've blocked out time to do these important tasks in your day. I've blocked out time to review my calendar. I've blocked out where I know my customer work is. So I know that I'm going to be working. So say, for example, I finish work with customer limited at 4:30, takes me an hour to drive home. I get home for 5:30. I know that I'm spending an hour on my emails every night. I know that I'm not going to finish till 6:30, but they're the fires that you're planning for. But once you start leaving, say you don't get to your emails on the Monday, the Tuesday, you know you've potentially got about 3 hours worth of emails to be doing on the Wednesday. So again, pick your fires, pick what you're actually doing, and also schedule yourself some creative time. So at the beginning or the end of every month, or whatever sort of suits you, block in a few hours for you to actually have some thinking time. So I'm going to put some creative time in here. So I'm going to put creative time of a morning, 8:30 until lunchtime. And I'm going to make that recurring. It's going to be every month, and it's going to be the first Wednesday of every month, and I'm going to save that. We're going to give it a colour, so I would give it a creative colour, just said the other day. So now you can start seeing a visual representation of what your week is looking like. You know you've got 2 customer days, so you know you have to fit your work around those other days and all those other tasks that you've got to do. I just find that by blocking out that time just makes me think, okay, all I have to do today is I have to get my emails in order, I have to get responses out and invoices out, and then I'm happy. Okay, so there's your time blocking. You've done your recurring. Now you've got something called insights. So insights are Microsoft's way where they look at your calendar and the time and your meetings and things like that and see what you're actually doing. So let's go to the settings in this. So, excuse me, it's not there. It's not settings at all. I am completely lying to you because I've set this up before. There we go, focus plan. So let's go into change settings. Okay, so this way you're setting your work week. You can also do this in Teams as well, and it syncs in Teams and it can sync from Teams into Outlook, so you can do it in either location. So my working hours are from 8:30 on till they are from till 5:30. Really? I know, it's a very long day. Time zone is right, Monday to Friday. We're not going to talk about the Sundays where I do things. I'm going to save that. So there's my working week done. Right. There's another thing in here for insights, which is called praise, which is where you can praise your colleagues and people like that. But this is where I don't really like this because you can schedule praise. Don't really feel like you should have to schedule praise because it should be on the forefront of your mind to think, actually, such and such has done a really good job. But if you really need this, you can schedule your praise on a Friday afternoon at the end. It's going to tell you to praise somebody in your organization. Again, don't like it, but if you need to be reminded, it's there. Okay, protected time. So protected time is where it protects you from interruptions. So whilst in the last 30 minutes of doing this, I've had 2 emails pop up and it's disrupting. So it takes you off and it takes you somewhere else, doesn't it? And you forget where you're up to. So actually, you can actually say, every day I go for my lunch between these times. Add a recurring calendar invite. So that basically blocks out that time so nobody can book a meeting with you within that time. So we're going to save that. Then we've got no meeting days. So I used to do this when I was really struggling because there's a social energy battery that you have in meetings. And if you have a full day or a full week of meetings, your battery is going to quickly start depleting. So if you actually start planning for those days where I'm having no meetings today, this is a day for me to catch up on all the admin, and I'm going to really focus on the things that I do. So we're going to set reminders to clear conflicts. So yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do. It was already yes, so we don't need to do that. Okay, so configure your recurring plan for focus. So focus time, as I've said, no interruptions, no beeps, no messages, no things popping up. It's where you're actually just head down, getting things done, and you can plan for that. So you can schedule that. It will find times in your day where you're free. So instead of going every Monday at turn, you have to focus. It will go, okay, this day is fairly busy. We're going to stick a 2-hour slot in here to give you focus time. Okay, so we're not going to schedule focus time earlier than 9:30 because that gives me an hour to get in, get to grips with what I need to do in the day, get a cup of tea and relax. And well, I'm talking about tea, let's have a drink tea. Not relax into the day rather than, okay, just need to focus now. It's actually, don't schedule it too early. We do want to mute notifications. We don't want to allow them because we want it to be actual focus time. Do you want to save that? Okay, it'll go through the diaries now and try and find time. My diary is quite hectic, so it might take a while to actually find that. So there's your protected time. So that's something that you're going to make sure that you are allowing time to actually think, sit down, think about things. There is a funny little story that I wanted to talk to you about. So yesterday I met with my old boss, so one of the senior managers when I was burning out. So we had discussions at the time about um, making space in my diary for these things, and we'd sit down and we'd look at my diary and we'd plan in this focus time, we'd plan in the creative time, we'd plan in the thinking time, and we'd create me space to actually breathe, really. And we were talking about it yesterday because I was saying we're doing calendar efficiencies today, and he laughed and he said, "You doing calendar efficiencies?" I was like, "I know, I'm a different person now, don't worry." And we started talking about why it didn't work at the time. So it was back to what I was saying to you before about, you've scheduled this time, this creative time or the protected time, and it was me that was removing that time because I was too busy and I prioritized other people and other things over myself and my own well-being. So it's all well and good putting all these tools and strategies in to give you this time to be creative. But if you're not using that time, if you're not going in there and going, no, this is my time, this is the time, the only time in this one that I get to actually think about improvements and things. If you're not doing that, then you're your own worst enemy. So there's not only so far you can actually go with your efficiencies. So it's a really enlightening conversation actually, that you do need to prioritize yourself and you do need to look after yourself. Okay, so that's protective time. The next thing I really like is your virtual commute. So we all, not we all, but many of us are still remote working, or hybrid. There's a couple of days where you're at home, but actually configuring a commute time. So years ago, I used to work an hour away. So every day I'd leave an hour in the morning, an hour in the evening, and I'd be in my car and I'd be listening to music or audiobooks or whatever. And I'd be commuting within these times. And I'd have a really stressful job. I had really long hours. I did excuse me, sorry, condensed days basically. So I worked 5 days and four. Great because I had 3 days off every weekend. But I did it because I was working those hours anyway. So I was not leaving the office till 7, 8 o'clock at night. Whereas when you only work 4 hours, you can't really take away for 4 days. You can't really stay there till 10 o'clock at night. So anyway, that commute was actually decompression time. So it was time to actually get your thoughts together, think about how the day had been, think about the next day. So all those things give you time to digest basically. Okay, so now we're all home and I was at home, I'd just be laptop down into the living room. I do have I've always had a separate office, which is, I'm really lucky for. So this is a complete unique, not unique. It is for work. At the time, it was a sort of crafty room when I was burning out. And after I'd burnt out, I hardly ever wanted to come and craft in the office. It wasn't my tranquil space had merged into my office space, and it was, yeah. So a standalone office space for me, it really works. So anyway, sorry, your virtual commute is the time of every day that it's going to remind you to start wrapping up. So start thinking about closing off those emails, updating what work you've carried out that day, doing the admin task to get you ready for the next day. So I set my working hours, didn't I, from 8:30 to 5:30. So I'm going to start my virtual commute at about 5 o'clock. So I'm not going to do it on a Friday. Do I want to do it on a Friday? I do want to do it on a Friday because on the Friday I want to make sure that I've closed off my week and that I'm ready for the weekend. I'm ready for my life, my time away from work or the business or whatever. So yeah, so I'm going to keep my virtual commute, which again, it's already done. Next time is reflection. So this is time for you to reflect. You don't have to do it every day. So I'm going to have a reflection time on a Friday, and I'm going to say set it for around lunchtime so that I can reflect on the week and I can do anything in that afternoon that I need to sort of catch up on. Effective meetings. So this is something I talk about in all my webinars. All meetings should be 50 minutes if they're an hour long, or 25 minutes if they're a 30-minute meeting. You should always give yourself a 5 or 10-minute break in between meetings, always, even if it's just to stand up, walk around, go to the toilet, get a drink, have a minute, prepare to get into the zone for the next meeting. So all meetings should be 10 minutes or 5 minutes shorter, depending on what the duration of the meeting is. Give yourself a break. Make it company policy. Suggest it to HR. This is what we should do as an organisation. That whoever manages your Microsoft space configures all your diary, all your calendar entries to be 5 minutes shorter. So yeah, really important, really important. Okay, so that's your insights done. So what we've just done there, we've protected time, we've added commute time in, we've set our work week, we've given ourselves time to breathe, and we've actually thought about looking after ourselves. So I think that's a bit of a win. Okay, the next one is do not disturb. So you're overwhelmed, there's a lot going on, I need a minute. So I'm just going to go into Teams and I am going to set my status to do not disturb. So I'm presenting at the minute, but go into here, do not disturb, set yourself, do not disturb. Nobody can ring, nobody can message. You're fine. You can have a minute. And that's super important. Another way to do it is you have something called focus time within your computer. So if you just type in, let's get rid of that. Let's type in here, focus time, focus. I've done too many Fs. Do that. Focus settings. Okay, so this now is a way for you to have I just need 30 minutes of focus. I need something to make me sit down for 30 minutes and get something done. Okay, so start focus session. It basically gives you a timer. It hides everything, all reminders, all pop-ups, all everything, and you can do other things. So you can create, so if I open this, I think, oh no, it doesn't. There is a way where you can link in, what to call it? Oh, what's it called? Spotify. So you can actually link in your music, but it seems to have changed. It's in the related settings. No. Get notifications. Notifications. Do not turn. Yeah, they must have disconnected their Spotify. Literally 2 months ago, there was a whole Spotify thing on this. Very strange. Okay, so starting a focus session gives you a pop-up timer and it will show you and it will tell you once your 30 minutes is over. So if you're one of those people that needs to actually be made to sit and concentrate for 30 minutes or an hour or whatever, focus settings like super important. Oh, one thing I didn't actually go through was wherever that's gone. Let's go back into our calendar. Let's go for a new event. We've got a poll, so I really like this scheduling poll. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a team meeting, and we're going to invite Stephen, and we're going to. No, I'm logging in Stephen. Let's invite me, and let's invite Sam. Okay, so what it's done is it's gone through everybody's diaries and it's found who's available and who's not. So I think Sam's the awkward one. So let's remove. Oh no, who's not available? Is it me? I think it's me. I think it's me. Okay, let's find another day. 6th of August. How am I busy in August? Let's go to April. Okay, so on the 5th, it's back holiday tonight, but it should be busy. And we're going to find time. We're going to offer 7:30 at night. Why are these so late? Hey ho. We're going to do PM. These are all different days that are available. Okay. So we're going to go next. So these are the times. Friday the 25th of April. So this is today. These are the times that it's suggesting to have a meeting. There's no location because it's going to be a Teams meeting, and you can set your settings. So what's going to happen is, actually, I'm going to get rid of Sam and just keep me, because I can toggle those and show you what it looks like. So once we've agreed, so I've suggested these times, so as Stephen, and then Rian is going to say, yes, I can do these times, and it will just automatically schedule. It will hold these times on my calendar until those times are there, but you can switch that off if you want, because if somebody doesn't get back to you in a month, then you've got 4 meetings of time that you're not going to fill. Okay, so I'm going to hold times and notify you about updates, and I don't care about verifying identity. Okay, create poll. So it's created the poll. This is where it is, and it's going to send it to me, and we're going to send that. Okay, so I'll wait for it to pop up, which it should pop up, because I'm not thingy. Let's take this. Oh, it has popped up. Here we go. Okay, so I've got this. So I'm going to vote now on this meeting. And I'm going to say, I prefer 7 o'clock tonight. And but I can also do 7:30. I can't do then, and I definitely can't do then. But I can at a push, I can do this. Okay, so I'm going to vote on that. So vote submitted. Happy days. Close that. So then another emails come through, and you're going to open. Let's go back into the email. I'll pull it over now, 2 seconds. Okay, so this is Stephen's thingy. So it's told me that I've got a vote from me. So votes are in, and this is what was suggested. And then the poll has reached a consensus. So this basically means that it's done. We're all happy. We're all going. And then so Friday at 7, we go back into our calendar. Friday at 7, it's automatically scheduled the meeting in, and it's removed all the placeholders, which I should have showed you before, but hey ho. So yeah, so it's done. So a poll for those awkward people when you need to get everybody into a room, just schedule a poll, and then you can all decide. I'd prefer this time, but at a push, I can move these things around to accommodate this meeting. So super efficient. Another option with your meetings is smaller because I've got a bar at the top, is bookings. So bookings are a way to what's the word? So it's in Teams. So this is the bookings page in Teams. You can create your own meeting type. So depending on what sort of teams you have and what people you have, so you may have a one-to-one that you need to schedule every quarter. So you create a meeting type of one-to-one, and then people can go in. So we're going to add a title, one-to-one. We're going to categorize it as oh, these are all my thingies. Let's just add that into the diary, why not? So book time for your one-to-one. Location is Teams or whatever. One-to-one, we're going to have an hour, and this will be public because we're only going to send it within our organisation. Use my regular meeting hours, and yeah, use my email signature as well. Sorry, add it to your email signature. So if I show you my email signature, go to email, new email. go as Rian. Oh, it's here anyway. Oh no, student goes home. Go to me. So down here, I'm trialing Microsoft Bookings. So this is where it appears in my email chain. Don't want to save that. Don't save that. Okay, sorry. Okay, so yeah, so we're gonna save that. So then now your staff can actually come in and they can book time for a one-to-one. So they will have the booking link, which will look like this. Let's just refresh that because we just added a one-to-one. So this means now, please book time for your one-to-one. So we're going to book that, and there's no times in April. Just look, yeah, okay. Nothing in June. This is not very good, is it? This is no 1 hour meeting. Okay, when you do it, you will have more space in your diary. I think it's because I block booked most of my. That's very strange, though. That's not quite right. So I need to look at that. April, May, June, July. Won't let me go any further than July. Hmm. I need to take a look at that. But anyway, it should give you more availability. It means your staff can actually book a meeting with you. This also works with one-to-ones with people that you've met networking or people in your business that you want to have a meeting with. Okay. We have literally spent so much time on calendar that the email settings is going to have to be a 5-minute whistle stop tour. Microsoft Bookings is free with a Microsoft business. I think it's with Microsoft Standard licensing. It's not an additional cost. It wasn't an additional cost when I used it, should I say. So yeah, might be worth checking. Okay, let's go quick whistle stop tour on emails. Okay, so in my inbox, I have a variety of folders. I break them down. I put them into numbers. As you can see, number 3 is out of order. Don't know why that is. May have moved it for some reason. I create folders and then inside them I file things away. The search function is much better than it's ever been. And it will only ever improve. So don't always have to file. You can just right click and archive, and it just sends all your emails to an archive function. So if you go into the archive, you can see all your emails, and then when you search, it will pick up your archive as well. So you don't have to, what's the word, file. You can just archive. That might save you a bit of time. But sometimes I like seeing all my emails in one place so I know exactly what I'm doing. Quick steps are another one. So a quick step is something that you want to be done quickly. So a quick step can be, there is already an archive function, as you can see, but we can, let's change this to move. And we're going to move that email to, let's create a new folder for now. The folder name is going to be meetings, because that's what I want to archive. And then we're not going to have any, we can have a shortcut if you want to, might make it quicker, but we'll save that, which basically means that now in my quick steps, I can just move. So that's gone, move, that's gone. So if we go into my meetings folder, they're in there. So you can create quick steps to, quickly move your emails over. There's other things in the settings that I quite like to use. So rules is one of them. So I just went little cog email rules, where you can, so one I've got already set up is anything from invoices goes into an invoicing folder. And then it means that I it's already done, and when I'm doing my invoicing, I go into that folder and process it then, rather than having a lot of noise in my inbox. Then same for compose and reply, so you can create like template emails wherever they are. Smart suggestions is where it says what it thinks you should respond to on your email. Conditional formatting is a really nice one. It's where I color code the names of people in my inbox. So if it's an internal email, it'd be green. If it's from my customers, it'll be purple. And if it's for sales opportunities, it comes in as like a reddy purple. It just helps me to see that actually these are all important emails and the rest of it are, they've not made it into the customer toggle basically. So yeah, so I always keep that up to date to make sure it looks I'm quite a visual learner, to be fair. Customized view is another one. We've done quick steps. Sweep is a good one where you can create a rule to actually sweep your inbox. But not got the time to go through that. What else have we got? If we go into, we've got immersive reader. So immersive reader basically allows you to change the way you read things. So if you get easily distracted and or you need additional help, like overlays of colours, text sizing to be bigger, it's up to you. It does help with a lot of things. There's also a what you call it? Oh, what's the word? It will help you basically if you struggle to read. I think if you're dyslexic, I think this is quite an accessible feature. I need to look into it a little bit more. So that's the email side of things. So the best thing you can do with your email, schedule time in to actually process your emails, create quick wins and rules to get things out your inbox, and prioritize. Communication is key. So prioritize at least once a day responding to people on your emails. Really important. I think that is what we've got time for. So let's stop sharing. Okay, so massive whistle stop tour on calendar. So basically, we went through organising, time blocking, putting in recurring meeting invites. We went through the insights to give you time to think, so room and space to breathe. We protected your time, we put in commutes, we basically gave you reflection time, we made all your meetings more effective by having them 10 minutes or 5 minutes shorter. I showed you how to give yourself do not disturb time to actually switch off and give yourself focus time. I showed you Microsoft bookings that will save time for people to actually have those meetings with you if you've got team members. I also showed you Microsoft bookings where people in your team can go and find their own time with you. And then we did the super, super quick on email efficiencies, which was creating folders, rules, quick steps, and immersive reader. So there's so much more to the package and it's always constantly changing. But I hope you found that useful. I hope that you've taken something from it. I reach out to me if you want any further guidance. I'm more than happy to help where I can. Appreciate your time, and yeah, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Have a great weekend, and I will see you all at the end of May. End of May is on action management and efficiencies, and that's where we use Microsoft Planner to actually create like a project, and manage the way that you work in your day to day. So sign up on Eventbrite. It's on the last Friday of every month, 10 o'clock. It's free. Please join me. And yes, I hope you all have a great day.